Hey, lovely people out there, welcome to my YouTube channel and thanks for clicking on this video. हमने अपने चैनल पे एक इम्पोर्टेंट सीरीज ऑफ लेक्चर स्टार्ट किया है एंड द नेम ऑफ दैट पर्टिकुलर सीरीज ऑफ लेक्चर इज ड्रग्स एक्टिंग ऑन अवर कोलिनर्जिक सिस्टम. Now when we talk about the drugs acting on our cholinergic system, we can classify those drugs into two important categories. कुछ हमारे ऐसे ड्रग्स होते हैं जिनको लेने के बाद इट विल इंक्रीज द कोलिनर्जिक एक्टिविटी एंड सच ड्रग्स विच इंक्रीजेस द कोलिनर्जिक एक्टिविटी आर नोन एज कोलिनोमाइमेटिक एजेंट्स. Now in our previous video lecture we understood the concept of the classification of our cholinergic receptor agonist. So in our previous video discussion we mainly focused on our directly acting cholinergic receptor agonist. Now when we talk about the classification of our directly acting cholinergic receptor agonist, we can further subclassify this particular classification into two important categories. The very first one is known as choline esters and the second one is known as alkaloids. In our previous video discussion, we mainly saw a very important first category of a drug which is coming under the category of choline ester and that is acetylcholine. Now in that video lecture I told you कि ये जो acetylcholine है it is not used therapeutically and I also explained you the reason. There were mainly important reason that was कि जैसे ही हम बॉडी में acetylcholine देते हैं it is rapidly getting destroyed by our enzyme and we understood कि जो हमारे प्लाज्मा में जो एंजाइम होते हैं that is known as butyrylcholine esterases which is also known as pseudocholine esterases. So जैसे ही हम acetylcholine बॉडी के अंदर डालेंगे it will rapidly get destroyed by our enzyme and ultimately अगर हमारा ड्रग ही डिस्ट्रॉय हो गया it will not show any kind of activity. So इसकी जो ड्यूरेशन ऑफ एक्टिविटी है वो कम हो जाएगी. दैट इज सेकेंड इंपॉर्टेंट रीजन. एंड द थर्ड इंपॉर्टेंट रीजन इज व्हाई वी आर नॉट यूजिंग दिस थेराप्यूटिकली इज इट इज अ चार्ज्ड मॉलिक्यूल एंड ये जो चार्ज मॉलिक्यूल होते हैं इट इज नॉट एबल टू क्रॉस अवर ब्लड ब्रेन बैरियर. So because of all such kind of reasons we are not using acetylcholine therapeutically. So today in this particular video lecture we are moving on to our next drug which is coming under the category of choline esters and the name of that particular drug is bethanechol. Now when we talk about this particular important drug that is bethanechol, this drug is having selective muscarinic action mainly on two important systems. The very first important system is that is gastrointestinal tract and the second one is our urinary bladder. Now this particular drug is preferred in two important conditions. The very first one is post-operative urinary retention and the second one is paralytic ileus. Now why we are using this particular bethanechol in our post-operative urinary retention? Now first we need to understand the concept of post-operative urinary retention. Post का मतलब होता है बाद में, operative का मतलब होता है ऑपरेशन. So जो पेशेंट में ऑपरेशन होने के बाद urinary retention की प्रॉब्लम होती है, in those condition we can use this particular drug and that is bethanechol. Now the question is why we are using this drug that is bethanechol. So this bethanechol is having selective muscarinic action on our two important systems. The very first one is gastrointestinal tract and the second one is our urinary bladder. When we were discussing about the concept of muscarinic receptor, at that time I told you कि जो urinary bladder पे जो muscarinic receptor present होता है that is M3 muscarinic receptor. एंड जब भी हम कोई भी ड्रग से M3 muscarinic receptor को स्टिम्युलेट करते हैं what it will do, it will contract the urinary bladder and ultimately अगर contraction हुआ so it will pass out the urine. So ये patient में क्या problem थी? Urinary retention की problem थी. So if we contract the urinary bladder, it will easily pass the urine, and it is very useful for such patients who are in the condition of post-operative urinary retention. Now the second one is paralytic ileus. Now what do we understand by the concept of paralytic ileus? पैरालिटिक इलियस इज नथिंग बट इट इज अ कंडीशन जहां पे जो बॉवेल मूवमेंट्स है वो प्रॉपरली नहीं हो पा रही है. सो इन दैट केस ऑल्सो वी कैन गिव बेथेनी कॉल. द क्वेश्चन इज व्हाई? बिकॉज ये जो बॉवेल की मूवमेंट है, when we stimulate the specific muscarinic receptor, it will increase the bowel movement. ये पेशेंट में प्रॉब्लम क्या थी? प्रॉपरली उसका जो बॉवेल है वो प्रॉपरली कॉन्ट्रैक्ट या फिर प्रॉपरली उसका जो कॉन्ट्रैक्शन है वो नहीं हो पा रहा था. सो बाय गिविंग सच काइंड ऑफ अ ड्रग वी कैन इंप्रूव द बॉवेल मूवमेंट एंड अल्टीमेटली जो पैरालिटिक इलियस की प्रॉब्लम है वो हम इन पेशेंट में सॉल्व कर सकते हैं. सो दैट इज व्हाई बेथानिकॉल इज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट ड्रग. नाउ there are many more reasons why we are using this particular drug, that is bethanicol. The number one is it has wide margin of safety. Second important is its muscarinic side effects are completely antagonized by the use of the drug, that is atropine. Now what do we understand by this particular drug, that is atropine? Now ये जो drug है that is atropine, that is having a selective muscarinic receptor antagonist like activity. Now let's take an example. Let's suppose एक patient में हमने बेथानिकॉल दिया है. What is the main important activity of बेथानिकॉल? It was selectively activating our muscarinic receptor. Now अगर हमने ज्यादा मस्करिनिक एक्टिविटी शो की, it can lead to different multiple side effects. Let's take an example of urinary problem. जैसे अगर हमने बेथानिकॉल किसी पेशेंट को दिया है, what it will do? It will contract our urinary bladder and ultimately urination की प्रॉब्लम पेशेंट में हो सकती है. Now if we need to antagonize or we can say reverse the activity of the bethanicol, we can give atropine. Now what this atropine will do? It will go and it will block the muscarinic receptor. So अगर हमने M3 muscarinic receptor को ब्लॉक कर दिया, now ये जो bethanicol है वो M3 muscarinic receptor पे बाइंड नहीं कर सकता. So जो साइड इफेक्ट था that was of urination या फिर अदर साइड इफेक्ट्स हो सकते हैं, जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल डायरिया. सो ऑल दिस साइड इफेक्ट बाय ब्लॉकिंग द मस्कारिनिक रिसेप्टर बेथानिकॉल विल नॉट एक्ट, एंड जो भी साइड इफेक्ट है वो पेशेंट में नहीं दिख सकते. सो इट इज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट, दैट इज ऑल द मस्कारिनिक साइड इफेक्ट आर कंप्लीटली एंटागोनाइज्ड बाय द यूज ऑफ एट्रोपिन. नाउ द थर्ड इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग इज इट इज रेजिस्टेंट टू बोथ द एंजाइम. Now what do we understand by both the enzyme? In our previous video discussion, I told you that there are two important enzymes. The very first one is known as true choline esterases and the second one is known as pseudocholine esterases. So ये जो true choline esterase है and जो pseudocholine esterase है, ये दोनों के दोनों enzyme को ये particular drug resistant है. That means the metabolism of this drug cannot be taken place by the activity of these two important enzyme. Now इसका importance क्या है? अगर हमारा ड्रग डिस्ट्रॉय नहीं होगा, so ultimately जो उसकी एक्टिविटी है, और we can say the duration of action of our drug will increase and ultimately it will be beneficial for the patient. So third important point why we can use this drug, that is bethanicol, because it is resistant to both the enzyme. Now we must also understand the contraindication of this particular drug. Now what do we understand by the term contraindication? It simply means कि ये जो particular drug है हम कौन से patient में नहीं देना prefer करेंगे. So the very first important condition is blockage in urinary bladder. Now the question is why this particular drug is a contraindicated in the blockage of urinary bladder. Now let's suppose this is our urinary bladder and let's say कि यहाँ पे patient को एक stone हुआ है. Now we know that by giving this a drug that is bethanycol, it will contract the urinary bladder and further यहाँ पे पहले से ही obstruction है. Now further if you will contract this urinary bladder, it can lead to massive pain. So इसीलिए this particular drug is a contraindicated in the condition of blockage in urinary bladder. Second important condition is that is benign prostate hypertrophy जिसे हम short form में BPH भी बोलते हैं. Now what is happening in the condition of benign prostate hypertrophy is here is our prostate. This is normal prostate and the second image is of the enlarged prostate. Now normal prostate में क्या होता है? This is our normal prostate and this is the normal urethra. Now what is happening in the condition of BPH? ये जो prostate है वो enlarge हो जाते हैं. Now when this prostate is enlarging, it is enlarging in both the direction. यानी कि ये outward direction में भी enlarge होते हैं and inward direction में भी enlarge होते हैं. Now whenever this prostate are getting enlarged, we know कि prostatic urethra पे in our adrenergic receptor lecture we understood कि ये जो prostatic urethra पे we have the presence of alpha 1 adrenergic receptor. Now ये क्या होते हैं जब prostate enlarge होते हैं? This alpha 1 adrenergic receptor they are getting irritated and because of that irritation it can lead to further contraction of our prostatic urethra and इसमें क्या होगा जो patient का जो urine outflow है that is getting blocked. Now ये समझो कि अगर हमने ये पेशेंट में वे सफरिंग फ्रॉम बीपीएच उस पे अगर हमने बेथानिकॉल दिया तो क्या होगा? पहले से ही द पर्सन इज हैविंग कॉन्ट्रैक्शन इन द यूरिनरी सिस्टम and further by giving the drug that is bethanycol it will also contract. So contraction के वजह से the aggravating situation can get worsen. So इसीलिए ये particular condition में that is in the condition of BPH we are not supposed to give our drug that is bethanycol. Now in the patient who is suffering from asthma and COPD ये पेशेंट में भी हम ये पर्टिकुलर ड्रग नहीं दे सकते हैं. द क्वेश्चन इज व्हाई. वी अंडरस्टूड कि जब हम मस्करेनिक रिसेप्टर के बारे में पढ़ रहे थे वी अंडरस्टूड अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट मस्करेनिक रिसेप्टर व्हिच इज प्रेजेंट ऑन आवर ब्रोंकाई एंड दैट इज M3 मस्करेनिक रिसेप्टर. नाउ वी नो कि ये जो बेथानिकॉल है इट कैन स्टिम्युलेट आवर मस्करेनिक रिसेप्टर एंड अस्थमा में एंड सीओपीडी में प्रॉब्लम क्या होती है? द पर्सन इज ऑलरेडी सफरिंग फ्रॉम रेस्पिरेटरी डिस्ट्रेस. सो अगर हमने ये पर्टिकुलर ड्रग दिया इट विल स्टिम्युलेट द M3 मस्करेनिक रिसेप्टर व्हिच इज प्रेजेंट ऑन आवर ब्रोंकाई. फर्दर इट विल लीड टू ब्रोंकोकंस्ट्रिक्शन एंड जो अस्थमा एंड सीओपीडी की प्रॉब्लम है वो और ज्यादा बढ़ सकती है. So इसीलिए in this particular patient we are not supposed to give our drug that is bethanycol. Now the fourth important contraindication is in the condition that is peptic ulcer. Now the question is why? अभी हमने पढ़ा कि ये जो bethanycol drug है that is activating or we can say stimulating our muscarinic receptor. And अगर हमने GIT वाले muscarinic receptor को अगर हमने stimulate किया it can increase the concentration of HCl and it can further worsen the condition of peptic ulcer. So this particular four important contraindications of bethanycol are: number 1, blockage in urinary bladder; second one is condition of BPH; third one is in the patient having asthma and COPD; and the fourth important contraindication of this particular drug is peptic ulcer. Now moving on to our next important drug and that is carbachol. Now ये जो carbachol है it is having both the activity. That means it can directly stimulate our muscarinic receptor and also this particular drug can stimulate the nicotinic receptor. Further, this particular drug is resistant to both the enzymes, and therapeutically it is very useful in the condition of a glaucoma. Now, why this particular drug is useful in the condition of a glaucoma? When we will be discussing pilocarpine in this particular video lecture, at that time I will tell you why this drug can be useful in the condition of a glaucoma. Now moving on to our further section, that is of alkaloids. Alkaloids में एक बहुत ही important drug आता है, and the name of that particular drug is pilocarpine. Now this pilocarpine is a cholinomimetic alkaloid which is obtained from a very important plant, and the name of that plant is Pilocarpus. Now this particular drug is having both the activity. That means it can stimulate our muscarinic receptor. Also, it can stimulate the nicotinic receptor. It has predominant muscarinic action, especially on secretory activity. Now, therapeutically, when we use this drug, that is pilocarpine, is in the condition that is known as a glaucoma. So, first we need to understand what do we mean by the disease, or we can say the condition that is the glaucoma. Now, when we talk about glaucoma, there are two important types of glaucoma. The very first one is known as open angle glaucoma, and the second one is known as closed angle glaucoma. Now, what is this open angle glaucoma? Now, the very first thing that we need to understand कि हम इसमें एंगल कौन सा ढूंढ रहे हैं. So, can you see this angle? यहाँ पे this particular angle is open. That is why this particular glaucoma is known as open angle glaucoma. And if you compare, यहाँ पे जो angle है that is closed. That is why it is known as closed angle glaucoma. Now, the glaucoma के condition में problem क्या होती है? That is जो intraocular pressure है that is increasing. And why that pressure is increasing? Because जो aqueous humor है उसका production, or we can say the drainage of aqueous humor is not taking place properly. So अगर aqueous humor ज़्यादा आँखों में होगा, definitely जो pressure वो put करेगा that will be more. So जो intraocular pressure है that will increase. So glaucoma is nothing but it is a condition जहाँ पे जो intraocular pressure होता है that is increased. Now, open angle glaucoma, it is basically caused by slow blockage of our drainage canals. Now, can you see this green color image? यहाँ से this aqueous humor is getting produced, and aqueous humor जैसे ही ये produce होगा, यहाँ से ये aqueous humor जाएगा, and ultimately यहाँ पे कुछ drainage channels होते हैं, वहाँ से ये यहाँ से drain out होगा. Now, what is happening in this particular condition is, in the condition of open angle glaucoma, यहाँ पे एक network होता है, or we can say meshwork, that is a trabecular meshwork. Now, जैसे ही ये aqueous humor यहाँ से आएगा, ये trabecular meshwork से pass होगा, and ultimately it will get drained out. Now, problem with open angle glaucoma is there is some kind of a resistance in this trabecular meshwork. Now, why we are giving pilocarpine in this particular condition? Now, we know कि ये जो pilocarpine होता है, this is our ciliary muscle, and whenever we are giving pilocarpine, what it will do? It will contract our ciliary muscle. Now, जब ये ciliary muscle contract होते हैं, that means ये ऐसे आएंगे. So, can I say when this ciliary muscle will contract, there will be a stretch in our trabecular meshwork. So, जैसे ही ये contract होगा, there will be stretch in our trabecular meshwork, and अगर stretch out होगा, तो जो resistance है वो कम हो जाएगा. अगर resistance अगर कम है, so properly जो भी aqueous humor है यहाँ से properly drain out होगा, and ultimately we can say the levels of aqueous humor in our eye will decrease. And अगर levels of our aqueous humor in the eye will decrease, definitely जो pressure है वो कम हो जाएगा. And glaucoma के condition में क्या होता था? Pressure ही तो increase होता था. So intraocular pressure will get a drop, and ultimately it will be useful in the patient who are suffering from glaucoma. So pilocarpine यहाँ पे एक important role play करता है. Now pilocarpine can also be given in the condition of closed angle glaucoma. Now what do we understand by the concept of closed angle glaucoma? Now closed angle glaucoma किन किन patients में देखा जाता है? So this part is our anterior chamber. So कुछ पेशेंट में क्या होता है कि ये जो anterior chamber है वही बहुत नैरो रहता है. Compare the anterior chamber of this eye and compare the anterior chamber of this eye. So relatively ये जो anterior chamber है यहाँ पे ये आंखों में that is broad and इसमें जो anterior chamber है that is narrow. Now because of this shorter or we can say ये जो anterior chamber है अगर narrow है what will happen? We know कि यहाँ पे we have iris and यहाँ पे we have a pupil. Now जब भी pupil हमारी dilate होती है what it will do? Let's suppose यहाँ पे एक pupil है and when this pupil will dilate what it will do? Can I say कि ये जो iris पे जो pressure put हो रहा है because of dilatation of a pupil उसके वजह से क्या होगा यहाँ पे जो बेस है that will become broad. If you are not able to understand, let us understand by this particular thread. Now let's understand कि ये जो rubber band है that is representing our iris and यहाँ पे we have a pupil. Now जैसे ही pupil dilate होगी can I say कि ये इस पे force apply करेगा and because of that application of force or we can say because of dilatation of our pupil this will ये ऐसा हो जाएगा and because of this upward force जो base है वहाँ पे ये iris muscle broaden हो जाएगी and when this iris muscle at the base is getting broader जो angle है वो और छोटा हो जाएगा and because of that the shorter angle जो प्रॉपर ड्रेनेज आउट हो रहा था ऑफ एक्वस ह्यूमर वो प्रॉपरली नहीं हो पाएगा एंड अल्टीमेटली जो एक्वस ह्यूमर का कॉन्सेंट्रेशन है वो बढ़ जाएगा एंड बिकॉज ऑफ दैट इंक्रीज इन द लेवल्स ऑफ एक्वस ह्यूमर इट विल इंक्रीज द इंट्राऑक्यूलर प्रेशर. नाउ ये कंडीशन को हम ट्रीट कैसे कर सकते हैं? व्हाई वी आर गिविंग पाइलोकार्पिन इन दिस पर्टिकुलर कंडीशन? नाउ अगर पाइलोकार्पिन व्हेन वी वर डिस्कसिंग अबाउट द आईज we know कि पाइलोकार्पिन ये प्यूपिल को क्या करता है? It will constrict the pupil. Now जैसे ही प्यूपिल constrict होगा can I say it will stretch our iris muscle? Now अगर ये stretch करेगा so can I say कि ये जो base है वो भी stretch out होगा. पहले क्या होता था कि because it was producing upward force ये जो base है वो ज्यादा broad हो जाता था. Now when our pupil are getting contracted what it will do it will pull the iris muscle and ultimately जो base का जो broadening है वो कम हो जाएगा. that means जो angle पहले narrow था now relatively that angle will get opened up and because of that opening of the angle जो aqueous humor है वो properly drain out होगा and ultimately अगर aqueous humor properly drain out होगा तो जो intraocular pressure है वो भी कम हो जाएगा. So pilocarpine can be useful in both the condition that is open angle glaucoma as well as it can be useful in the condition of closed angle glaucoma. Now moving further, the therapeutic usage of our pilocarpine. So very first one अभी हमने discuss किया that is it can be useful in the condition of glaucoma. Second one is it is used to reverse the pupillary dilatation after refraction testing. Now what is this refraction testing? Now जब भी हम आंखों के डॉक्टर के पास जाते हैं in order to study our eyes properly जो pupil होती है वो dilate होनी चाहिए so that doctor can check properly our eyes. So इस condition में we can give mydriatics. Mydriatics agent क्या करेंगे? It will dilate the pupil एंड उसके वजह से जो डॉक्टर है वो प्रॉपरली आंखों का चेकअप कर सकते हैं. नाउ ये जो आफ्टर द रिफ्रैक्टरी टेस्टिंग वी डू नॉट नीड द मिड्रियाटिक एक्शन. सो इन ऑर्डर टू रिवर्स दैट मिड्रियाटिक इफेक्ट वी कैन गिव अवर ड्रग दैट इज पाइलोकार्पिन Why pilocarpine? Because we know that whenever we are giving pilocarpine, it will constrict the pupil. So it will produce meiosis effect, and it can be very useful to reverse the pupillary dilatation after the refraction testing. The third important therapeutic use is it can be used as ciliogog. Now ये क्या होता है? They are those drugs which are used to augment the salivary secretions. Now ऐसी कौन सी condition है जहाँ पे we need to augment the salivary secretion? एक syndrome होता है and that is known as Sjogren syndrome. Now Sjogren syndrome में problem क्या होती है कि it is leading to dry mouth condition as well as जो आंखें होती है वो ड्राई हो जाती है. Now अभी हमने जब हम पाइलोकार्पिन की एक्शन डिस्कस कर रहे थे, we saw कि this pilocarpine is having more action on our secretory cells. So by giving pilocarpine, what it will do? It will increase the production of saliva as well as it will increase the production of lacrimation. So lacrimation अगर बढ़ेगा and salivation अगर बढ़ेगा, ultimately it can solve the problem of dry mouth as well as dry eyes, which is very important in the Sjogren syndrome. So pilocarpine can also be used in the condition of Sjogren syndrome. Now alternatively, it can be used with mydriatics to break the adhesion between the iris and the lens. कभी कभी क्या होता है, iris and lens के बीच में there is some kind of adhesion. So when we are giving such kind of a drug, that is pilocarpine, so pilocarpine क्या करेगा, meiotic effect show करेगा, and immediately we can give a drug which can produce mydriatic effect. So meiosis and mydriatics का combination करके sometimes we can break the adhesion between the iris and the lens. So in that particular condition also we can use this particular drug, that is pilocarpine. Now जो हमने previously देखा था एक important drug, that is carbachol. Even carbachol can be used for the therapeutic use, that is in the condition of glaucoma. So that's it for today's video lecture. In the next video lecture, we are going to start with a very important concept, and that is known as indirectly acting cholinomimetic drugs. So अगर आपने वीडियो यहाँ तक देखा है, consider subscribing to my YouTube channel, press that bell icon, like this video and share it with your friends. See you in the next video. Till then, see ya, bye bye, have a good day.